Hi, good afternoon, friends. Okay, welcome back to our TSCC Live. That is at 1:30. Last week, we had started the series for the month of March about parenting. We invited the head of the family, host families, Siong, to share with us the foundation of family planning, locality of a house, and also to a certain extent, the financings in terms of running the families of it. Right, so today we had the ladies of the house, right, Hazel.
Hello.
Right, with us, to share with us, their parenting methods on it, all right. So I'm sure, everybody will be excited, to know exactly, right, how are they going to teach our children, right, especially in today's fast, complicated, or sometimes to a certain extent very confused stage of environment, right? How are we going to help our children in growing at different stages of it? Right, so dear friends, any time after the interview, if you do have any questions, please drop them in the comments box. We will attempt to answer you on live, if we have the time. All right, without further ado, let's introduce Hazel. Perhaps you can share with us a little bit of your background, your expertise before you become a full-time housewife.
Yeah, so before I go on to a full-time stay-home mom, I go to school to teach. So I'm in the education line. So I study about education, childhood education. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I do.
Well, we definitely got a very qualified person to share with us. And Hazel and Wei Xiong, they had a family of 3 children, aged 2 to 3, crossing this year will be 3, all right, 4 and 7 years old children, so it's a very challenging family, probably to today's situation, people are thinking about probably have 1, or sometimes to a certain extent it's 2, until today we are talking about it, both Wei Xiong and Hazel are trying to come up whether they should have dozens we have to form a soccer team or not. Anyway, to start our first questions on it, we want to address the word's called parenting. All right, so in today's world, particularly in Singapore, very competitive. A lot of parents both parents actually is working, and they spend most of the time, to give the comfort living for their families on it. Do you think, there will be a situations, that there is a lack of emphasis of parenting? Sometimes maybe going to the childcare center, sometimes maybe giving to the grandparents, or sometimes maybe even an education program on it. So we want to know your perspective of your families in terms of parenting.
Yeah, so before I delve into more details about what I feel about parenting, I just want to say that parenting is not innate. It is not something that we are born to know how to do it. Parenting is not instinctive. Love is instinctive.
Sure.
Yeah, but parenting is something that you need to learn. You need to find out, and I find that it is a responsibility of a parent to know how to parent your child purposefully. So that is the word that I would like to use. Parenting is purposeful. So when we say purposeful, right, simply means that you have a desired outcome.
Sure.
What you would like to see in your child. So you mentioned earlier that there are some parents who choose to give the responsibility of parenting to somebody else, which I feel that as a parent, you should hold the responsibility yourself, because this child is a gift from up there. It's a gift from God to you. It's a blessing.
Sure.
Yeah, so for me, I feel that God have blessed you with this child, so you must take the responsibility to parent your child, and not somebody else parenting your child. So that is our take on parenthood.
It must be challenging.
It is it is challenging to learn how to parent. In fact, I feel that when it comes to parenting, right, it is you must have you need to be self-directed. Okay, it is something that you have to do it yourself.
Sure.
And informations about parenting are readily available in this era. 7 years ago when I had Jonas, not so. There are lots of books out there, okay? So you have to pick the book, you have to choose the book. But right now, I feel that there are so many outlets for you to find information on parenting. There are parent coaches on Instagram who post really informative informations. There are books, like I say. There are also apps out there, which I think is so awesome. So parents nowadays, you have the privilege of technology to help you parent. So don't be lazy. Yes, okay? Be responsible. Go find out.
Right, definitely. Sometimes agreeing with you, the parenting perspective of it is definitely, if you want to have children, definitely you have the responsible, all right, to raise your kids. Okay, but subconsciously sometimes we get neglected or probably running out about. Okay, where earning money sometimes is going to be also equally important. Okay, in the family perspective of it. So you share something about having material, learning curve on it. I believe for children's, there are different phases of it, right? And I think everybody would agree with me, dealing with the kids at different mood swing, different behavior, all right,
it's very
climbing up
challenging.
and down. I believe those people who are parents definitely will know, this is the most headache situations on it.
Yes, I have parents telling me that 我有一个我已经不行了，你有三个。And all my boys are at different developmental stages.
Correct.
So I think it's a blessing that I have 3 boys that are in different development stages, and it allows me to understand how to parent them at different stages or so. So for those parents who have one and you find that this is so much for me to handle, I would like to tell you that it can be really easy, and I can share with you.
That's what we're here for, all right?
Yes,
right,
yes,
to
yes.
understand how do you manage, or perhaps understand, the different stages and developments of child so that we can assist them in growing, or perhaps the whole process of enjoying right, the fun with the children.
So I feel that to really enjoy parenting, you first must understand what is going through your child, how your child is developing. Because if you don't know, then your child will be acting out, and then you are wondering what is happening to him, and you don't know how to handle the child. So the very first thing you need to know is to understand child development. And you don't need a PhD to know that. It is really simple. So when we talk about parenting, the big question is, when do we start parenting? And I want to tell you that you start parenting the moment your child is born.
Wow.
Yes. Okay, because the first 5 years of childhood is very crucial to their development.
Sure.
The first 5 years. If you miss the boat, then it will be really challenging for you to, get your child back on track. So when a child is born, you got to start parenting effectively already. So we talk about the development stages, all right? There are actually 5. So we have the newborn phase, which is from 0 to 3 months. And that is what we call the 4th trimester. So for the first 3 months, you actually realize that the newborn is very different from when the newborn go into the next phase, which is from 4 months to 1 year. So from 4 months to 1 year, we call it the infant stage. You actually see a drastic difference in your baby. So if you don't go and find out, you actually won't know what's happening. And I always tell new parent to go find this book. This book is so good. It's called The Wonder Weeks.
Oh, okay.
And there's even an app for that. Go find it, okay? And yes, The Happiest Baby on the Block. So these 2 books, I usually tell newborn parents, you don't need to know a lot, just these 2 books. And even if you don't have time, go download the app, the Wonder Weeks app. Because what it tells you is, it actually shares with you what is happening to your baby in this first 12 months of life.
So they are done in weekly?
They done in phases.
Phases.
Yes. So in Wonder Weeks, right, what actually happens is that they tell you that your baby actually go through different phases, different developmental phases, and they'll go through this fussy periods. So sometimes parents tell me, "Hey, Hazel, my baby keep crying and fussing, doesn't want to drink. I don't know what is happening." So what is happening to your child? Your child is growing up. That is what is happening. But because your child is a baby, they cannot tell you, they cannot talk to you, so they have to express it in a very different way.
I see.
So as a parent, if you understand what is going through your baby, you know how to manage them. You won't get so flustered when your baby doesn't want to drink, when your baby keeps crying. In fact, you'll be calmer.
I see.
So in parenting nowadays, we talk about calm parenting. We talk about positive parenting. And that is what I would like to share with everyone. Parenting can be such a joy if you understand.
I see. So you shared something that there are 5 stages, and just now you mentioned about 2 stages.
Correct.
All right. What are the
So
the other 3 stages?
after your child turns 1, that is a whole different stage. Yes, okay. We call it the toddler stage. Everyone is like, oh, so cute. And then after that, when they turn 2, they are like, oh no, they are 2 now. So yes, there is
highly active.
Yes, so there is oh no, some people call it the terrible 2. Okay, some people want to be nice and call it the terrific 2.
Okay.
So that is what we call the toddler age, the toddler stage. So during the toddler stage, okay, your child experience world very differently. So if you feel that 2 years old are terrible, okay, you need to have a change of mindset.
I see.
Because they are not. They are experiencing world in their own way, and they don't know how to express to you. They throw a tantrum because they are filled with emotions that they don't know how to handle. We call it big emotions. So when it comes to parenting, I always tell parents, have empathy to your child. Okay, you have to understand that your child is still a very small human, and they're going through this big emotion. You know, sometimes we adults have big emotions too. We get angry over things, we get frustrated. But because we had so much years in us, we understand how to handle these emotions, but not these children. So they act out, they throw their tantrum, they scream. Yes, and that is just because they don't know how to do it. So when it comes to positive parenting, it's all about changing your mindset, okay? Having empathy and to handle this situation together with your child. Instead of suppressing their emotions. So instead of telling the child, stop shouting, stop all that, okay, you're suppressing them. So what we do is we embrace it together with the child. So that is the toddler age. So understanding what's happening and knowing how to manage it.
That must be a really patience period of time for parents.
It is, you're right. So you really have to practice a lot of patience. You know, I used to be very impatient. I have very bad temper prior to having children. Yeah, so after I had my children, okay, I toned down so much. And I really feel that a big part of it is by God's grace.
Sure, that's great.
I pray a lot. And when there's time where I feel that I just cannot, I just pray, God, help me. You really need to help me. And then, you know, sometimes I actually chanced through this article, you know, when you are, as a parent, when you are crying, when you are so frustrated, and when you pray, God is just next door.
Amazing.
Yes, He is that amazing, because the next thing you know, things just turn out all so well. So for me, praying really helps when it comes to parenting. When you are frustrated, okay, the one thing you need to do is to walk away from the situation first. Do not engage yourself together with your child in the frustration. So if you walk away from that, okay, it gives you time to think about how you're going to act. Because you know, sometimes when you're angry and you're not thinking well, you just snap. And then after that, you realize that, oh no, I should not have done it. So sometimes I tell parents, you know, what you can do is you can just, you know, walk away first.
Very great. Right. I believe in terms of parenting, positive parenting will be a very huge topic. Okay, it can probably take hours, okay, of discussions on that.
Definitely.
All right. That's why we devoted like this one whole man.
Yes. Even that, I don't think it's enough.
Okay, so I think there will be many more to share. Okay, but we like to probably cross over to another questions. Okay, to enlarge a little bit. Okay, knowing that your house actually got quite a fair bit of unique design. Okay, that we can see for different corners that you have created space, okay,
Yes,
for the
yes,
children of
yes.
developing either be it for physical or probably for emotional space as well.
That's right, that's right.
So I think it's very interesting. So I don't want to let go this questions.
Okay,
right?
yeah. So when we come to that, right? When I was a teacher, okay, I believe that the environment for the child is very important. Be in the classroom, be at home, because the environment shaped the child.
Sure.
So this is where, as a parent, you need to understand how you shape your environment to suit your child need. So when it comes to a home environment, for me, it is always changing because my children is always growing, always changing.
Sure.
Yeah, so you mentioned earlier on the different spaces. Yes, I actually did have designated spaces for this, for their learning. And before I go into that, I would like to just say that there is one thing that I want all parents to know is that play is very important to children. Do you know that? Playing is so important.
Subconsciously learning.
Yes, you're right. It's not just subconscious learning. When they play, they learn so much in terms of cognitive, social, even physical, mobility. So many things happens during play. So in my house, I subscribe to the importance of play. But when it comes to play, right, it must be good quality play. So that means you give your child a good quality toy. And when we talk about good quality toys, right, your child really does not need 100 toys. Okay, they just need a few good toys. That's all, and it will keep them really engaged.
Wow. Well, I know what's the toy.
Okay, so we call these toys open-ended toys.
Okay.
Yes, so toys are actually categorized in different category. Okay, so you have those toys that make a lot of sound, those toys that there is a lot of music and things like that. We call those closed-ended toy. I press the sound, I press the music. That is what I get.
Okay.
That's all. Okay. Open-ended toys, for example, toys like blocks.
Okay.
Toys like tiles.
Okay.
These are toys that have no meaning on its own.
Okay.
But the child will put meaning to the toy itself
correct.
as they play. So this is where creativity, imaginative, problem solving comes in when they play with open-ended toys. So like I say, your child don't need those fanciful toys. You can have them, okay, but they are not going to be so engaged as compared to open-ended toys.
Sure.
So
sure.
for my house, we have open-ended toys for the boys, and I see the difference. They really spend more time playing, and when they play, it is quality play.
So you get into some situations, some problems.
That's right.
And then they begin to think about methods of solving it.
Yes, but okay, when it comes to children, right? Okay, the thing is sometimes they are not so good in their fine motors. So let's just say that when it comes to Lego, they want to build something. Okay, they build, and then they cannot. And what happens next is they get frustrated.
Okay.
It's common. And as a parent, okay, so what I'll do is I'll come in and then I will tell the child, you are frustrated. It's normal because you cannot do it. So I am verbalizing my child emotion to let him know that this is frustration that you are feeling. And it's perfectly fine because I, as an adult, feel frustrated when I can't do something, when I wanted to do it as well. So that's where I engage him socially. Yeah, so you know when it comes to open-ended toys, things like this happens. So as a parent, right, yes, I do let them play independently, but I'm also an observer. So I will come in and, engage them when they needed to. So at that moment, okay, they actually understand, this is frustrating. I cannot get it right. I don't want to do it anymore. So as a parent, this is where you come in and you parent purposefully.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. Right.
So this is the benefit of having open-ended toys.
I see.
Problem solving.
Sure. so due to a bit lack of time for our interview, perhaps you just want to share with us, all right, simply in terms of the different space, okay, that you are having right? What kind of space that you're creating?
So for us, I have 5 designated spaces, okay? The most important space that I have is the play space.
Okay.
So I have a designated play space for the children, and in this play space, I have toys that are displayed. So you can see in the picture, okay, I have toys displayed over there, and those toys are open-ended toys.
Okay.
So why I do that is because for a child, when I see something, okay, I want to have it. I will play with it. If I don't see it, I don't remember
I see.
it.
So easily attainable.
That's right. And I have designated play space because
Okay.
this is a place where they gravitate to. If you realize that your child is not playing purposefully, it's because you probably don't have a designated space for them.
I see.
You know, their toys is like here and there and here and there. So for me, after shifting here and there, I realized that, you know, the living room is the place where they gravitate to because I am always in that space. So they want to
Correct.
be near me. They want to play near me. So naturally, I move the play space to that area.
Sure. Okay. That makes it that sometimes people thinking that they probably put into a room, okay, to contain them.
Precisely.
Playing at
That was what
but
I thought so
not,
too.
Not mess up with the living
Yeah,
area.
so I was like, ugh, I don't want to mess. But, you know, it doesn't help.
Sure.
They keep bringing the toys out. They keep bringing the toys. And then we'll bring the toys in. So then I
Extra
move
works.
it out. Yes. So that's one, okay? And then, okay, and then I have the reading corner.
Oh, interesting. That's good. Little library.
Yes, so in fact, right, okay, for me, I feel that in this century, okay, screen time is, you know, so readily available to the child. And when it comes to play, right, you know, it engages the child, you know, all those things that I mentioned earlier. But when you put a screen in front of the child, everything stops. Learning stops because they are so engaged visually, that's all. Nothing happens. So if you come to my house, you realize that I do not own a TV. Yes, I don't have TV at home. We purposely decided to not own a TV because we want to have an environment where the child does not have screen that is
see.
readily available.
You all create your own live TV.
Yes, yes. So what do I have readily available for the children? Toys, books. Really, my books are everywhere at every corner. So they pick it up. Whenever they feel like it, they pick it up and then, you know, they just flip through and then they got so engaged with reading.
Great.
And that is one way to get your child to, you know, to like reading. Have books at every corner of your house. Display it.
I see. All right.
Yes.
That provide the readiness.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, but that doesn't mean that I do not give my children screen time. Okay. We still do, but it is controlled.
Control time, eh?
Yes, controlled. So that's the thing. So that's another space, okay? And then I have a space for them to do their learning. So that's one space. So they know if they want to do learning, that is the corner they go to.
Okay.
So every corner is very specific. The child know what is happening at each corner. So for the child, they need this because it makes the environment safe for them. And I tell you, I don't have a big house. You don't need a big house for all these spaces. You don't need a lot of things. So this morning, my boys tell me, Mommy, I want to draw. I want to paint. I don't have a creativity corner for that.
Okay.
But what I do have is I have an art trolley.
Art trolley.
Yes.
Wow.
So whenever they just want to paint, whenever they feel like doing something creative,
This is
they just drag the trolley to wherever they want to, and then they just start doing their doodling and everything.
So it can be everywhere.
Yes, that's right. So you don't need a big space to create all this designated area for your child.
That's where you expanded to the corridor, huh?
Yes, you can do art anywhere.
Probably should get the reporter again to interview you again, how to utilize the common space again.
Yes, every corner of your house.
correct.
Yes, and I also have a space for them to be quiet. So, like I said, I don't have a big house, okay? So my quiet corner, my sleeping corner, and my movement corner is at the same place. Now, children, they need to move. They are constantly moving. So you need to provide that safe environment for them to climb, for them to move, okay? So for me, I have very strict rules. You want to climb, you want to move, here. That's all. Okay, you do not jump from table to sofa, from chair to chair. You want to climb, this is the only place that you get to climb. Because
Wow.
this is the only place that I am constantly watching them.
Then you create
Climbing.
a safety's so-called a safety place for them to get havoc.
Yes, because they really need to release their energy,
Sure.
especially during the COVID lockdown. I tell you, they cannot go out. We cannot go out. They need that movement area. So
Wow.
yeah, I mean, these are spaces that for parent you need to consider when you have a child or when you're going to have a child.
Sure. Wow. Okay. I believe everybody who listening to this, there will be a lot for you to digest.
Yeah,
Okay,
so much,
all right.
right?
Okay, so perhaps you'll be very amazed, with the way you organize your house, even with a small house, particularly in Singapore. How are we going to create the sparseness, of the house that allow the children to go different places on it? So each time they come home, they are having so much excitement, to love the house on it that manner. Okay, so we are already coming almost to the end, of today's sessions. We would like to have you more.
Thank you.
So the next 2 weeks' time, that we will still have Siong and Hazel with us. Next week, all right, they will be sharing with us what is called a positive parenting, which just now have mentioned a bit. All right, the extent of it is huge. Talking about the why, the what, and the how of the parenting aspect. So how to use, the choice of positive words, right, to engage the children, to not exactly, right, to so-called the parenting in a way to get them into loving, growing environment aspects of it. All right, so stay tuned with us, next week at 1:30. All right, next week we will have Siong and Hazel, right, with us together. Right, how are they going to do the positive parenting, to their children of age 3, 4, and 7? All right, stay tuned. All right, welcome. Encourage you to bring your friend, to come and enjoy us with the sessions. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.